Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Let's take a look at something a little bit different about the market today. We're going to talk about an indicator that I have. It's called the certainty rates down here at the bottom. And what we're looking at here, of course, is the S&P 500. This is the futures. Today is Saturday, not a trading day, but I'm going to put out a video and we're going to talk about this a little bit. Today is the 28th. Okay, so let's talk about this. You can see here that certainty rate can be put in a graphical format. Back here, you had a big old bump, predicted that big old spike. Okay, and if we go like this, it makes a little more sense. It's scaled. You can see lately we've had a spike right here, certainty rate. Okay, but let me just get rid of all the indicators on here for a second, and let's just talk about the certainty rate and the candlesticks on the chart here. So let me just hide some other indicators here, like the Big Daddy, the SMI. Just hide all these. MACD. We're even going to hide. Well, maybe we'll keep the certainty rate on there graphically. Hide the universe. All right, let's do that. Here we go. Okay, so we see here I've got just a picture of the certainty rate since January 16th. Okay, and there's two different small spreadsheets here. I have certainty rates, okay? So let's go over this real quick. This would be certainty rates. This top would be certainty rates when, how do I explain this? I'm not going to dive too deep into details about what the certainty rate actually is. It's just energy flow, okay? But energy can flow in two different directions. It actually can also flow bidirectionally. So you can just think of it this way. Energy coming in, let's say down means in, okay? And let's say, it's not really in, I'm trying to, just think of, okay, positive energy moving in a positive direction, energy moving in a negative direction. Just think of it that way, okay? So you can have this happening both at the same time, as weird as it sounds. Normally, that's not the case. Normally, in regards to the context of the certainty rate, we get energy flowing either positively or negatively, but not both at the same time, okay? But occasionally, both at the same time. So what am I talking about right here? January 26th. January 26th, you can see there's numbers on both those dates, right? 18.10 and 29.10. Okay, but normally that's not the case. All right, we'll get to that special circumstance here in a minute. All right. So let's go look back here, way back here at January 17th. Okay, so let's go look on the chart. Where's January 17th? January 17th is right there. It's this candlestick. Okay. The market goes down for a couple days, and on January 19th, which is that candlestick right there at the bottom, what does happen to the certainty rate on the 19th? Well, we get this number. Look, we had some days of zeros. 17 and the 18th, we had 0. And this, just talk about this spreadsheet here. Okay. So we had 0, on the 17th and the 18th. Also on the 19th, we get a fairly small certainty rate, but the important thing to know about the certainty rate is that when you see a number like that in a sea of zeros, what do I mean by a sea of zeros? Sea as in S-E-A, a body of water, right? Look at all these zeros here, right? At that point, we had a bunch of zeros even above that. There was something here on the 16th for this other spreadsheet, but on this one, we had zeros. And then 13 shows up. Okay. So back over here to the candlestick, if I had other indicators on here, they'd come into play. But I do use those in conjunction with the certainty rate. But just looking at the certainty rate, that tells me, in conjunction with the other indicators, that there was a likelihood something was going to happen. And sure enough, since the market was going down, let me get yellow, since the market was going down, the odds were fairly high that the certainty rate was telling us we're going to have a change in direction. And sure enough, it happened. The next day, the S&P 500 went up dramatically. Had a huge candlestick day. That day was like 100. It was 70, almost 79. Pretty big day. Okay. So you get these scenarios like that. That's very useful. Okay. That's just one of the ways that the certainty rate comes into play. Now, I get my members ask me this all the time. What does it mean when the certainty rate does this? What does it mean when it does that? And they want these very, like, hard and concrete rules. Well, it's not that simple, right? There isn't always hard, concrete rules that apply every time. Okay, the energy flowing in is a very dynamic process. It's a very dynamic entity. Okay? It has to be taken in conjunction with a lot of other data. Right? But I'm just showing you today that the certainty rate can be very powerful. It can help, in conjunction with other data, forecast what the market's going to do before the market actually does it. That's really the whole point of this video. Okay. So let's go on. What happened here? Then we got a spike in the next day. We got this big candlestick that went up. Right? And then let me switch to black. Starting right around the 20th, we had all the way from the 20th, even to this day, we had the certainty rate flowing in the opposite direction than it was up here. Because look at this. This is all zeros until we got to the 26th. Look at this. All of a sudden, we went from flowing, let's just say, just for conversation's sake, I think this one is, certainty rate is going up positively. Okay. And this chart down here, the certainty rate's is flowing negatively. Okay. It's not so much about the individual numbers each day. Okay. I won't dive any deeper than that. So this chart represents energy declining. This chart up here represents energy increasing. All right. So in any case, we've got these numbers coming in every day. 12.6 kind of a small number. 18's pretty decent number. 13's kind of smallish. This basically, for my members, a lot of my members know this. We filter this by anything larger than 8. Okay, but if I see something, barely above 10, definitely below 15, it may not carry a lot of weight. Though sometimes it does in a sea of zeros, like I said up there. All right, so look at all these numbers just coming in every day for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row. Okay. 12.6. Then we get a 19 on the 21st, back down to 13, 17, 15. So if just collectively, as I'm looking at this data, I can see the energy on the average is rising. Right? If I just take these 5 days, it's rising. You got an 18 in there, you got a 17, a 15. They're bringing up the average. That makes sense? Then 13 drops back down. Then we get a big day on the 26th. Big day on the 26th. And we get bidirectional up here, 18.10, 29.10. So what does that mean? Let's look at the 26th. Boom, look at that. I mean, right on the button. Okay, in this case, this data comes in after the market, so it wasn't as useful. Okay. Unlike back over here on the 19th, we knew a day ahead of time, right, 19th. We knew a day ahead of time before the 20th that something was going to happen in the market. Okay. But this is a pretty big number. See, just going back to this Excel spreadsheet down here, when you see a 29.10, in a sea of numbers that are, hanging around 15 or less, with that exception there, that stands out. And the fact that we got a big number on in the other direction as well at the same time. It stands out, right? It's an event. And what we're trying to do is make sense of events. All right, then I think the 26th was Friday, or was it? No, sorry. 26th was Thursday. Then Thursday we got 11, and then today, Saturday, this is after all the data's coming in, we got 9.9. Now that's the first number we've seen below what? 13. I'm sorry, below 11. Yeah, these 2 days. These are the first two numbers we've seen in a while that have been below 13. Okay, so we're going to keep a close eye on this. As I get ready to finish up this video about the certainty rate, what I'm getting a sense of is that the market is probably going to weaken. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to reverse, Johnny on the spot and just start turning around and go down. If the certainty rate goes to 0, like we see here, a sea of zeros, okay, then sometimes the market will just continue in the direction it's in. So zeros don't always mean that, the energy is stopped and now the market's going to go in the other direction. Sometimes it just means there isn't any data coming in that's going to force the market, I shouldn't say force, but predict the market's going to change direction. Does that make sense? Normally, that's why this event up here was very, very powerful and very predictive. When I see zeros like this coming in, a bunch of zeros coming in, and then we get a 13, I'm like, okay, pay attention. There's going to be something going to happen in the market. So we might be looking for something like this. If these numbers continue to decline, if it gets below 8, it won't even show up on the spreadsheet, okay? The data, the program that I have is not even going to generate a number. It'll generate a 0. If that happens, then we know that something's changing in the market. Right now, it looks like between Friday and Saturday here, this is Friday right here, Friday, and this is Saturday right now as I'm doing this video. It looks like the energy that's declining is beginning to wane. It's slowing down. Okay, I don't want you to think just because if I say declining, that means the market's going to decline. This data can be inverted to the market. Happens frequently. It's a complex indicator. It's not simple. It isn't just add some numbers, subtract some numbers, and come up with a quick answer. That's not the way it works. This data really has nothing to do with the market. Believe it or not, the data we're looking at here, I want to say, I'm just going to say it influences the market quite a bit. Okay, it influences the market quite a bit. So that's what we're looking for now. So just to finish up this video, if these numbers continue to decline, which I don't know if they will, I'll check to see what the certainty rate is for tomorrow on Sunday. And that could be a big deal if we start seeing zeros. If we just start getting zeros again, okay, if we start just getting zeros, so they would show up here. If we just start getting a bunch of zeros in a row, that's kind of a good thing. When we see zeros, a bunch of zeros coming up, that makes it much easier to determine if something's going to happen in the market. So I'll be looking for that on Sunday, especially Sunday night as we move into the futures opening. I want to see what the Sunday numbers are. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row. The energy has been declining, and we've had this particular equation that generates these numbers above 8 that are coming in every day. All right, so as of right, there's no trading obviously on Saturday. If there were, I would say expect the market to continue to go in the direction it's going in, which is obvious what that is. That's this way, up. So we'll keep a close eye on these and see how this turns out. If I go back over here to the visual certainty rate, the one that's on being charted here on the TOS platform. Right now today, I think this was like, what was this? This number was 29 way up here. Yeah, because this I think was a 29. think that was 29. Yeah. So today it would be down here. It would be like, well, let me move this. If today was a trading day, yeah, it would be like just sitting down here, like just barely showing up, like right around 10, you know, be a 9.9, be sitting way down here. So just think of it this way. The thing would decline dramatically like that. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, I see the certainty rate was going up and the market went up too. Okay, sometimes that's correlated that way. But don't always think it's like that. It's not always like that. Okay? Certainty rate and market don't always flow together. Okay, in this case, they did. From way back here, looks like around, I don't know, whatever that is, like the 12th or the 13th or something. What day was that? Yeah, I'm sorry, the 19th. Okay, since then, it's been going up, 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 up. Okay. So the 28th was, I'm sorry, the 27th had an 11. So if I were to chart this, if you wanted to know, I don't have it on here, but if I were to chart this, what happened to the certainty rate on Friday, it would actually be, you know, right next to this candle. It would be all the way down here, like right there, like that, just barely above that dotted line. That's where we'd be. And then Saturday, which is today, be actually just a little bit below it, like right there. Normally I wouldn't chart that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, I would. Okay. So let's just say for Sunday, which obviously this chart's not going to show weekends, okay, but just for the sake of this video, let's say Sunday comes in and let's just say it's a 0. It would be down here like this one is, sitting right at the bottom, just sitting at the bottom, okay? And would that be a big deal? It potentially is. It just, to me, when I see things like that in the certainty rate, it tells me, okay, now we're ready to see if a number comes in after we see some zeros for a few days. We're waiting to see will a number come in. That tends to be fairly reliable kind of combination, you know, or trend with the certainty rate, right? So that's the take on the certainty rate, guys and gals out there, right? It's kind of a complex indicator that's been extremely helpful for me. I've made a lot of bank trading on the certainty rate, right? So I'm just sharing it with you because, you know, the thing you got to remember is, and I talked about this in a previous video, I think it was a business video I put out last week, you got to be a critical thinker. When you're looking at data, you got to look at it with critically thinking, okay, analyzing the data, and you're looking for patterns that are reliable and predictable, okay? With the certainty rate, there's a lot of different combinations that can take place. Okay, and again, as I finish up this video, I know I've said this 3 times already, finished up the video, but as I finish up the video, the certainty rate isn't used by itself. It's used in conjunction with other indicators, so just keep that in mind, all right? If you want to become a member, you can see on the screen right here, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the join button, $5.99, super dirt cheap. That is crazy cheap, guys, per month, all right? You get nightly emails. I put out videos occasionally for members, like I'm putting out this one. This one's public, but I put out member videos occasionally, and public videos for that matter. Okay? But you will get occasional member-only videos that the public doesn't get to see. Matter of fact, I put out one yesterday. I didn't share it with the public, okay? And also, you get access to the Discord server, and I'm on there most days, and there's quite a few members on there that talk and chat and share and do things like that, all right? So you get all that for $5.99, all right? I'm also working on some other software, okay, that there's been a lot of success with some of my other indicators, like the Big Daddy. The Big Daddy indicator, a lot of people like that indicator because they're pretty reliably. Let me see if I can get the studies to show up here, and I will bring in the Big Daddy back in, okay. This indicator right here, this Big Daddy indicator. A lot of people like this indicator because every once in a while we get divergence dots, like this one, this one, which that one just told us there was a stall. This one predicted a big decline. Okay, so a lot of people like this indicator because it's forecasting in nature. It forecasts the movement of the market. Say, oh, it's forecasting the market's going to go down. Doesn't mean it will, but it's forecasting it just a little bit that the market's going to go down. Okay. Plus, occasionally we get a divergence dot that's very powerful. So why am I mentioning this? As I'm shamelessly promoting my service for $5.99. Why am I talking about this particular indicator? Because I'm working on a piece of software right now that I hope, with time, when I finish up the software, it's going to go through maybe even a few hundred symbols, future symbols, maybe even some stocks. I'm not sure, and it's going to generate a report basically that's going to show us which symbols are in divergence. Right? Think about that for a second. Let's just say in this scenario right here, the divergence dot comes up and a report gets generated. Let's just say I have a list of symbols. Okay. Some of these might be future symbols. I don't know. Let's just say S&P 500 futures, NASDAQ futures, whatever. There might be crude oil, gold, all these, some grains, whatever. There might be some stock symbols, typical S&P 500 symbols. There might be some NASDAQ symbols in there. I don't know yet, okay? Just imagine you go down, you get this list every night in an email, and the email is basically telling you, hey, there's a divergence. We'll just put the letter D here for, I don't know, crude oil, which is CL. You go and you take a look at it, right? You go on your charting software and you take a CL because you're getting an email from me that says, hey, go check out crude oil. There's a divergence going on. There's a dot. And it may or may not be a good trading opportunity, but at least it gives you, how do I put this? It gives you an advantage, right? It's giving you one more tool in your toolbox. It's helping you decide to make trades. Let's say you go look at CL and you're like, okay, it's pretty good, but you know what? I want to go look at gold, which the future for that would be GC. And let's just say the report happens to have it on there as well. And on gold, you see, oh my gosh, it's so primo. Let's say the MACD is way up here at the top, peeking out, right? Your other indicators that you rely on are all telling you, oh my gosh, the thing's in the nosebleed section. And get us to send me an email saying divergence. Okay, guess what? It's time to short gold, right? Or almost time to short gold. Because remember, this is forecasting that something's coming. So those are just some of the things I'm working on, okay, guys? There's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes that I haven't really talked about to the members and even to the public, okay? That there's other pieces of software that are going to be available that I'm going to make use of to add value to the members, for the members, I should say, okay? And right now, the price of the membership is crazy cheap because I know we're in a time of inflationary economy, and I'm keeping it cheap for people to join $5.99. But it's probably not going to stay that way forever. I told my members last year I was going to raise it, but I didn't. But eventually, it probably is going to get raised. All right, so this is just one of the many things I wanted to share with everybody out there. Take advantage of the $5.99. It's super, super cheap, and there's going to be some great things coming from the members. Now, I can't promise that this piece of software is going to be available, and you're going to get the emails are going to start coming in tomorrow with all this divergence, because there's a lot of I'm a software developer. That's why I'm telling you this, okay? There's more work to be done, but I'm working on that piece of software. And I don't know, maybe in a few weeks or a month when I have time and finish this piece of software, it's going to add major value to the members, okay? And also, now that I'm on the topic, go over, I'll put it up on the screen here, gettischarts.com. Go over there and register, because it's highly likely I'm not going to do this through YouTube. I'll keep the YouTube channel for videos, but the payments are going to go through my website. Okay, because right now what's happening is I got people who are getting a free ride. They're getting emails. They're not even paying for the membership. I know they're getting a free ride, okay, because I can't completely track every single person that comes and goes, right? It's a little bit complicated. So on the new site, I'll be able to do that. All right? So make sure you go over there to the gettischarts.com and register, because I'm going to be working diligently to get the payments moved over to there, and I'm going to shut down the YouTube payments, and you're going to have to sign up over there. Okay? But for now, you can join on YouTube. Click the join button, $5.99. Okay? All right. Hope you really enjoyed the video. I wanted to share the certainty rate with you, and other opportunities are going to be coming up in 2023 for all the members. Take advantage of it while you can before I raise the rates, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing that. All right? Listen, guys and gals, forgive one another, love one another, and I'll talk to you all real soon again next time.